Hello, beautiful people. Hello, hello, hello. I apologize for the delay with the airing of this show. We are currently in a storm in Atlanta. So I was having some instability with my Wi Fi, but no worries. I am here. You are here. Let's get ready to start the show. This episode of Real Talk the Podcast, this is a special series. This one focuses on COVID-19. The series is called Impacted. Today, I will be talking to a high school senior and his mother about how COVID-19 impacted his senior year. So, of course, as part of all of this, we have to play our theme song. So, let's just go ahead and get that going right now. I'm going to share that with all of you.
Real Talk the Podcast. We just keeping it real. Inspirational, motivation is something that you can feel. Authentic, I know you can tell. Hosted by Kimberly Sherrill. We got food for thought. Come help yourself. One of a kind like nobody else. Yeah, wanna see you mentally grow in a major way. Play this back like day to day. See all that stress and doubt, just watch it fade away. There is nothing you cannot achieve. Good vibes, yeah, we got that. Kimberly, go ahead and talk to him. It's the Real Talk Podcast. Let's go.
All right. So I am here again. I'm your host, Kimberly Sherrill. This is Real Talk, the podcast. Today, I have with me in the guest chair, Rolanda Lacy and Jonathan Baker. Jonathan is a graduated high school senior, but his senior year was impacted by COVID-19. So this is the first installment of the series, Impacted. So let's just no delay. Let's bring them on right now. Hello, Rolanda and Jonathan.
Hey,
Hello.
How are y'all doing?
We're
good.
doing awesome down here in Texas.
You doing awesome down in Texas? Are the stars really brighter at night?
Very bright and very hot.
Well, it's hot in Georgia as well. So hey, I don't know who will win that contest.
hmm It'll be a tie.
Well, so I just want to say thank you so much for agreeing to come on the show and talk about this. Of course, right now, the entire world is at the knees of coronavirus or COVID-19, and it has had some impactful effects that people don't necessarily think about. So, Jonathan, you are a graduated high school senior now. Your senior year is over.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you feeling in this moment?
To be honest, I'm glad that I'm got through high school, finished off with all A's and stuff like that. But to be honest, I wish I could have ended it off the right way without COVID-19 happening and me being able to finish the school year off.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Rolanda, how are you feeling about everything?
I'm feeling better now, being that we're able to finally have a physical graduation. When it first happened, I was really petrified because this is something we've been waiting for since, he started school. So for us, it was spring break and they were not able to come back. And so we just figured that it'd be like, oh, just an extra week or two, not knowing because we never been in nothing like this, that it was going to be the rest of the year. So to see all the things that he wanted to do, he never got to go to a prom because this was a school that will be first year having their prom. So that was cut short. Then the graduation and everything was up in the air. So as a mother, every mother loves to see their child graduate and get to see all the memories. I have a lot of great memories from when I was in high school, my senior year. And I just wanted my son to have the same opportunities that I had.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, John, you are a superstar, to say the least. You were dominating in football, track. You've been to the Junior Olympics as well, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So, I mean, you had so much going on as far as athletics and potential scholarships and things. When you were a junior, what were you expecting your senior year to be like?
I was expecting myself to have a complete turnaround in my football season because our previous year we didn't really accomplish much since that first year varsity. I didn't have such a good the season I wanted to. So that was the first goal of trying to like turn my season around and get looks at for football by other colleges and stuff like that. And for track, I had a good senior. I mean, I had a good junior season for track and field. So my goal for the next year was just to repeat and like make it have a historic season. And that's what I was doing until COVID-19 happened. The season ended up having to be ended.
Right. So when you realized that you weren't going back to school and that so many of your classmates, you stood the potential of never seeing these people again, how did you feel?
To be honest, at first it wasn't really something that was on my mind, but like as quarantine and time went by, I started to think about it. But I realized when I get in college, I'm going to meet new people, and I haven't really known these people all my life. So like, it's just I'm going to still stay close and stay in contact with the people I'm friends with now. So it's not something that really like phases me and like bothers me too much.
Well, you are definitely taking all of this in stride, and you are very positive about so much of this, and that is wonderful. You know, it's great to really focus on the positive and things like that. But you were impacted in so many ways. Um, I do know that you are headed to the University of Arkansas, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that is with football,
For track and for track actually.
track.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So, athletically, how were you impacted by your season being ended the way that it was? How did that impact your athletics?
Like the season itself.
As far as track, because we were what, right at the beginning or in the middle of
Oh
your
yeah.
track, your senior track season.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, well, to be honest, it impacted. It didn't. It impacted a lot because I have some goals that I had set for myself by the end of the season, but I had goals set for me, and to be honest, I accomplished most of them already. So like the only things I really got to miss out on was Texas relays, repeating and state again, try going back to back. That's really the only thing I really missed out on. Other than that, I already had like broken many records and had an historic season. So like to be honest, I already accomplished most of everything I had, but had set for myself. So it wasn't too much. It wasn't too bad, you know. So it
But
wasn't.
we would have liked to had back-to-back state championships, and of course, try to break another record here in Texas that
That
has
was going to
been
be my
broken.
next question because he is a record breaker.
Yes, he is number one in the nation, and before COVID kicked in, he was on his way to breaking a record that has not been broken here in the long jump in 31 years. So he's modest. I'm his biggest cheerleader. And I was looking forward to that. He did accomplish breaking awesome athlete by the name of Matthew Boland record from last year. And I was looking forward to him breaking another record before all this happened.
Right. So, Rolanda, as his mom, you know, you have been there from the beginning, from the moment that you realized that you were pregnant with him to birth. You know, there were so many milestones that I've heard you speak about that you were just really looking forward to.
Mhm.
How have you been coping with the fact of, because in an essence, it's really almost like a loss. You know, he
Yeah.
had a senior year, but it wasn't what you expected. And so many of those milestones that you, as his mother, were looking forward to seeing him take part in. How have you been coping with the loss of realizing that there's not going to be a senior prom? There's the potential of not actually watching him walk across the stage. You didn't get to witness him breaking those records.
Well, of course, I'm gonna be honest. I cried. Originally, before all this happened, he was set to graduate on the same day that I graduated from high school, which was May 19th. So
Wow.
that meant something to me, as you could understand. I was like, I never would have thought that I had my first son graduating on the same day. So that was going to be another thing that him and I shared. So when COVID happened, I was, of course, crushed by that. Also, with the prom, like I stated, he never went to prom before, so I always tell him the different things that I did my senior year, and I was looking forward to them. Of course, I had some special plans for him, that I wanted to send him out in style since he had a great year. So I had made arrangements with some of my clients, and also, I had a party that I paid for him. Ended up getting canceled, and I was just looking at this as a big celebration for all the family to come together and celebrate him and have a great time. But now we just been informed that instead of having the 30 plus people that we were going to have for graduation, we only have 4 tickets now due to COVID because of the restrictions and everything. So at this time, only his parents will be at his graduation, and I mean that's heartbreaking for me because he have grandparents, he have aunts. John is loved by a lot of people, and a lot of people support Jonathan. So it crushed me that we all cannot come together and celebrate this moment that should have been celebrated by many, and a lot of people now have to watch it online versus being there in person. So that took I say, the sentimental value out of it. I'm still happy that I am able to see him graduate, but I want to share that experience with my family and my friends and a lot of close people to us.
Listening to you speak about all of that, I just really had like chills about it because I am a mother. And so, my children are young, but all the things that you're talking about, those are really special moments as a mom.
Yeah,
And graduation is a really big celebration because there are people who don't make it to graduation.
that
You
is
know,
true.
and so it is truly a big celebration. And to hear you say that only his parents are going to be able to attend the graduation, so his brothers will not be able to go.
Not at this moment, unless something happened that I'm not aware of. But at this time, only his parents will be able to attend.
Wow.
hmm And of course, with his brothers looking up to him because they're the next ones up, I want his brothers to be there at the graduation. So I'm praying still daily that somehow we can come up with extra tickets. But as of right now, only his parents will be there. And of course, um, his grandmother would not be able. She's been waiting on this forever. I mean, we've been waiting since what, 2002? But I mean, she told me she'll be here in spirit, but it kind of just crushed me that, the main close family will not be here to see this. But we do plan on doing something special for him later.
Absolutely. And, graduation is in many ways is stressful,
hmm
especially anytime there's a ticket uh,
Yes.
involved with graduation,
hmm
because you then have to make those difficult decisions of who
hmm
gets to go and who gets to stay.
hmm
And to know that, his grandmother is not going to be able to attend. I mean, people don't think about these things, but it has not only impacted the seniors, COVID
hmm
19 has impacted their families because
Yes.
they're being robbed of these special moments. I'm
hmm
sure as much as you have been waiting on it, his grandmother has been waiting on that moment,
Yes.
to see her grandbaby, the cousins and things, because you did say that John is extremely loved. And
hmm
he 100% is. His family is his biggest fan. As an extension of that, I have been, rooting for Jonathan,
Thank
because
you.
you definitely want to see, it's beautiful to see um, people succeed, and graduation
Yes.
is definitely a success. It's definitely a
Exactly.
success. Um,
hmm
so is it going to be, it's going to be televised, it's going to be online?
It should be.
Yes, it will be online. It's June the 23rd at 8 p.m. at Legacy Stadium. So it will be online for everyone to see. The only disadvantage is because, of course, we have a lot of things, and not only just his grandmother. Apollo, he has two grandmothers, and he has a grandfather, and but a lot of the older community are not very suave with internet. So
Right.
a lot of people might have difficulty seeing it, and because of how they have it broke up, from my understanding, it's just going to be short and to the point. So I'm hoping that I would have will be able to like test off the site or something so I can instruct them because of course I will be at the stadium with my son and I do want them to see it, but it does supposed to be an internet link that's supposed to be sent out so they can watch it live.
Right. But you did make a very good point because the elderly community, most of them are not tech savvy. And
Mhm.
so people say, well, and I've heard people say this, well, it's not that big of a deal. Everybody now can watch it because it's going to be online. Well, not necessarily everyone. If it was my son graduating, my grandmother would not be able to watch because she doesn't have internet.
Mhm.
She doesn't have a need for internet and she doesn't have a cell phone.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
those are definitely things that people need to think about. So in place of the celebrations and things that you were not able to do as planned, what are some of the alternatives that you now have decided to do for John to celebrate him, as a result of what's going on?
well, originally he was going to have a senior trip, but due to everything and the seniors not being able to participate because everything happened, we are planning our family trip is really going to be his graduation trip to Los Angeles, and then also we're doing. Hopefully, everything will be great by the time he leave for college. That we can have a small gathering and send him off to the week before he go to school. I want to have a get together for all the family and everyone so we can wish him well to send him off right.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So, John, moving forward, going into college, you did talk about that that you're going to make, new friends. What are some things that you are looking forward to as you enter into the University of Arkansas?
First off, just getting adjusted, surrounding myself around the right people. Um, Last but not least, but like getting my education, to getting taking care of my business, accomplishing the goals I had set for myself going into the school year and throughout the whole 4 years. That's really the main things I'm really focusing on.
So, what are some of the goals you have going into as a freshman in college?
I want to be able to maintain an A B average like all 4 years actually, but especially like my freshman year. I want to get started off on the right track. Sports wise, I want to be able to make it to SEC championships, national championships, and be able to place in those meets so I can set a name for myself and things like that. So those are like the main things I have set for myself to accomplish this year.
Well, John, I'm here to tell you, you have broken records, so you have a name for yourself.
Hmm.
So I admire your goals. They are very focused, and someone who has accomplished as much as you have in 18 years. I know that you're definitely going to be able to do that.
Thank you.
And I can tell that your mom is already planning those celebrations for those SEC championships and those college track records being broken. She's looking forward to those celebrations.
And the Olympics.
Andy, listen, John, let's talk about that ticket to the Olympics, son. When you, I need you to just save me one ticket. Just give me one seat. I'll take a seat in the back to watch you compete in the Olympics. But I know that you can do it. Gold medalists. I've met a couple of them. One of my best friends, her cousin is a gold medalist, and his energy is very much like yours. He's extremely focused on what it is that he needs to do. And I definitely admire that you are a very modest and humble young man. I would probably be on camera right now with like my medals and trophies, just have them casually sitting in the back. But I have to ask this question because this is the elephant that is in the room of every high school senior whose second half of their senior year was basically canceled going into college and thinking about that. Um, Mom, have you prepared yourself for if there is a second wave of COVID-19 in the winter that could impact Jonathan's freshman year?
Yes, I have. when COVID first started, I started doing more healthy alternatives for my kids, such as using things like sea moss and, just different things to help build up his immune system. Because, of course, based off of what they say, uh, COVID attacks you when your immune system is low, and then also you might if you're overweight. So I myself have started exercising more. Don't have to worry about it with him, but I'm just trying to, of course, change. Make sure that he's always eating healthy or has the right supplements and vitamins and different things to just help to build up his immune system. So if he does come around someone that has the COVID exposure, that his body is already prepared for it. Also, I've been stocking up on all his products for school because he will be in a dorm with other people, and it's working out and sweating and everything. So I have a nice care package for him consisting of all Clorox and Lysol products that he don't have to worry about never going without for the next for the first year, probably the 2 years. The way I've been shopping for all the things that he needs for school. And I'm only going to send probably 1,000 gloves with him just to be on the safe side if you ever need them. And masks.
She said only 1,000 gloves, John. She said they're real casual, like.
Yes. Every day I'm on him about, hey, you took your vitamin C, you took your elderberry, your sea mouse. And so I just want to, of course, he exercised regularly. He's in the best shape, way better shape than me. So with that, and of course, I see how he is here, washing his hands off after everything. And we use bleach with everything. So he would take those same practices with him to school. And hopefully everything will just work out. And of course, he has a praying mother that, of course, with prayer and all the supervision and him having common sense and also brain knowledge, I think that we will be prepared. But in the event that it does get bad, just know I will be there early to get him.
I was about to say, and is there like a U-Haul and trailer or something that you have on standby if you have to go and load him up and bring him back?
I actually been taking advantage of the flights. So I've already purchased a couple of non-refundable tickets that I'm only 2 hours away by plane. It's an 8-hour drive from Katy, Texas. So I need to be able to get to my son quicker. So I already have flights already on standby just in case anything change.
I love that. I love that. I need to come shopping in your household because you are prepared.
Mhm.
You have a whole bunker of supplies, and and those are things that definitely do not go bad because under normal circumstances, freshmen going into a dorm, it's a scary situation anyway because
Mhm.
they are in very close proximity. Many of them are not used to the cleanliness that it takes to cut down on germs and things. Meningitis is one that is really bad
Yes.
amongst freshmen and other things. And so going into the fall, you're looking at, all of those regular concerns plus, COVID-19. So it's great that you have really been thinking ahead and
Mhm.
aligning yourself to really send your son off to college, the most prepared.
Yeah, and also not just with my son, I advise any parent if there is a second wave, you know how hard it was to get supplies before. So if there is a second wave, our country goes into a panic attack. Just go ahead and stock up. Like you said, it never expires. So go ahead and have it so you won't have to go out under those circumstances and try to find it.
Right, right. So, John, what have you been doing? I know your mom said that she, has changed some nutritional things. What have you been doing to really keep yourself in your best possible shape to be ready for college, to be ready to hit that field with the Razorbacks?
Just been sticking to mainly. I've been sticking to the same thing I've been doing during off season last year. Been going to the hills out like 20 minutes here with 20 minutes from here with my brothers, going on the hill, running, doing bounding, still doing ab work, doing the workouts my coach sends me from Arkansas just to stay in shape and be prepared for the next season.
Right. So What about academically? Are you doing any summer reading to really keep your mind sharp?
Oh, I have actually been doing some reading, but I'm not really doing any summer work. They haven't really assigned to me yet over summer, so before I have to get there. But I've been doing some reading, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Rolanda, what is your advice for mothers who had to grieve that same loss that you had about the senior year not happening the way that you envisioned it, when your son was born? What is advice you would give to a mother who's dealing with that? What can she do to really move forward?
Well, despite everything that happened, what gave me a lot of joy is that since March, I've been able to spend more time with my son. He is my first son that's leaving to go to college. I have three kids. And so I had anxiety. I cried the first day of the senior year because he's driving. He has his own car. He got up, took his brothers to school, and just left me at home looking silly. So, of course, being that I'm a mama bear, um, I had to adjust, but me having this time since March just to be at home and get to talk to him and get to know, his opinions on different things, watching movies, reading books, playing board games, exercising, that gave me that sense of security that I know that he is a young man now, that he will make the best decisions for him, and he know that I'm just a phone call away. So to any other mother that went through the same thing I went through, look at this as a blessing in a way, because if we were on our regular schedule with me working and his busy schedule, we would not have this bonding time. And that was the best thing about COVID, is that I was able to bond with my kids more. We cooked, we did all type of things, just to have fun. And I will always cherish that. We took a lot of pictures and things that I can look back when I get older. And like, remember when COVID, we was at home for like almost 2 months and all the things that we did. So I would just tell any parent, take this time now to just to get those quality moments, because it happens so quick that before you know it, the next step will be his college graduation, then marriage, or, whatever is ahead for him. So I just say, appreciate these moments, because you never get them back. I never thought that I would be here today this quick with him graduating. It always seemed like it was so far away. Now it's here, and literally tomorrow it'll be over with, and now it's on to the next phase.
Right, right. Um, so John, you just got up and went to school like it was none your senior year. You didn't realize your mom was going to be on the floor.
Yeah, I just got up. Yeah, I didn't really have a problem with it, so.
Yeah, his mom is extra, so I'm just used to, and that's another thing. Trying to stop, like, son, do this here. I have to realize now that he's a grown man, but I'm still mama, and he will still be my baby, no matter if he becomes the biggest celebrity in the world, a sports athlete, or whatever. He's still my son at the end of the day, and he's still my baby.
Listen, I'm with you. My oldest son is 9 years away from graduating from high school. So I can't even put my mind there right now, because I will have a whole panic attack about it because it's happening too fast. But I can recall when my oldest nephew, was a junior. I literally cried probably 100 times his
Mhm.
junior year, thinking about the fact that we are 1 year away
Yeah.
from him being a high school senior. And I think I
Mhm.
cried so much that by the time we got to the graduation, I didn't even cry.
Yeah, I don't think I'm a cry. Well, I say that now. So I've had so many moments this year to cry. So I think I'm cried out. But then stay tuned.
I was about to say, the day you leave him at the University of Arkansas.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard one for me. I would not lie. That's probably going to be one of the saddest. It's going to be bittersweet, but that's probably going to be one of the saddest days.
John, do not put your phone on silent when your mom calls you 100 times the day that she drops you off at college. Don't put her on silent, because she's
Oh,
calling.
wow.
That's okay. I got those flight tickets. I'll pop up.
It's great advice. It's great advice. All the things that you have mentioned, and I love how you have consistently turned something that could have been viewed as so negative into something so positive. You know, looking at this as an opportunity to reconnect. With your children, because teenagers do not really like adults to
Yeah.
just kind of be around them a whole lot.
Mhm.
That's not something that they find to be extremely fun. But John, I'm gonna put you on the spot. During this extra bonding that you've had with your parents during this pandemic, what moment, what memory stands out the most to you?
Hmm. I don't know. It's been a lot. Like when we were all at home before they start back going back to work, doing crawfish boils together, painting, doing board games, things like that. I remember one time we had played Uno, and they put $1,000 on the line, and I ended up winning, and they just took it all.
You
So
didn't get your $1,000.
no.
We were trying to teach them the value of money and how quick it can come and go, and the value of if you bet. So there was a lesson behind it. So my husband thought it would be fun if we use real money. So we used real money, and he really thought he was going to keep it. But all three kids, I mean, my grocery bills for the last couple of months has been very high. We need that to feed them. And not talking about the internet. So they're all athletes and we need everything to pay for. But he has some special things coming up in a couple of days. So I think he'll be okay.
You know what? I'm with John. I think he needs his $1,000. He didn't. He didn't know that he didn't know that it was for play. You can't do the for play thing with real money.
Yeah, he is about his money. I can't say that.
So, John, what are you going to miss the most about being around your family every day once you're off to college?
Um, the cooking. My mom can cook really good. Uh, just I don't know, just them being here, like when we all at home together, when my stepdad gets back home, just joking around and things like that, spending quality time, having movie nights and stuff like that. So just little things I'm gonna miss. May not really express it and show how much I'm gonna miss it now. I mean, how much I cherish it now, but I'm gonna miss it later. So
So you heard that, Mom. He's gonna miss your cooking. So when you hop on those flights to just impromptu pop up on him, bring him a plate.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down there and cook and freeze some things so he can have my cooking if the coach allowed with his new diet that he's about to be on.
Right.
Mhm.
So before we end, though, I definitely want to ask you this question, Mom Rolanda. So juniors coming into now, they're going to be a senior. What is your advice to their moms? They're looking at possibly having something very close to a regular senior year, or maybe it'll have a little bit of modification. But what is your advice to those mothers who are coming into having high school seniors?
Always listen to your child. A lot of times, what I had to learn to do is not force what I wanted my son to do, but listen to what he wanted to do and then discuss the pros and cons of everything. So, a lot of times, I see a lot of parents make mistakes because they're living out their dreams through their kids. I've always told my kids that whatever they want to do, I'm going to support them no matter what, as long as they're respectable and do the right thing. So, one vision that might be your parents' vision might not be the kids' vision. So I always listen to the child, be supportive. They have so much on them. And this is a different world from when I was in school 26 years ago. So they have more pressure and more things, they're on the internet all the time. So they have more exposure to things. And sometimes they just want to talk and let things out and get to know your child and have their relationship. So when they are out in this world, and I know some things are taboo, but I say be open with your kids about everything because that way they won't believe what's on the internet or on the news. And if you don't know an answer, ask and get back to your child. And it's okay to tell your child that you don't know something. Kids always think that we know everything, but we don't. So there's a lot of times my sons, might ask me something and I'll say, I don't know, but I'll get the answer and get back to them and just talk to them. I think that's the best thing because once you have that bond with your child, no matter where they go in life, they will always remember your talks, your advice. And I think that's what helped me with Jonathan, that we have a good understanding and he can ask me or my husband any question that he want to answer. Some things I was not ready for, as his mother, but I have to accept that he's a young man now. So I just think communication, also, before the junior year, let's just go back. One of my sons started taking the ACT in the eighth grade because you can. I would recommend to anyone who have kids, the sooner you can start taking those tests, start taking it because it's only benefiting the child. And I also do like skills assessment to see what their strong skills are. So when it's time to go ahead and get up in the latter parts of the year, you know what your child major is going to be without him trying to figure it out. So just do different things to implement, to find out all the good things that, qualities that your child have and listen to them. And I think you'll be just fine.
That's great advice. That's great advice. Like you may need to have a career as like a graduation coach for parents to really, to give them that sound advice and help them really be focused on, not just the celebrations, but the academics that go along with it, the life skills,
Mhm.
things like that that go right along with it. So I'm just speaking that in as a possible career for you.
Yeah. You never know. So, I mean, I'm always open for advice and to talk to anyone because you just never know with the kids. I talk to all of Jonathan friends. They like me for some reason. But, they need someone to talk to who's been there because they're trying to figure it out. And I always say, with me being in my 40s, I'm still trying to figure out things. So I know with everything going on now, it's hard for them to try to put everything together. So listen to them and help let them know that it's okay that they might not know what they want to be in life, and try to just go through those different things to figure it out together.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So, John, what is your advice to the now high school senior athletes who did not get to completely maybe finish, depending on their sport, their junior year? What is your advice for them coming into their senior year of athletics?
Are you talking about juniors coming into senior year? Or
Yes,
oh, I would say to cherish all the moments you have with your friends and family because it's gonna be over soon. Senior year goes just like that. So I would just say to do that and just live life to its fullest, basically. Just to cherish all the moments and everything because they can be going just like that without you knowing. So that's the advice I would give to them.
that's great advice, John. That's great advice. I know where you learn how to give great advice. She's sitting next to you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm gonna close out here. I just want to say thank you guys so much for being willing to tell your side of the story because this is a part of the pandemic that people aren't necessarily thinking about, but this is definitely an impact. It's an impact on an entire community, and in essence, because it takes a village to raise a child, and now that village has not been able to do the celebrating that they
Mhm.
wanted to do because it's a nod to both. But I just admire how you guys have really taken it all in stride and been extremely positive. John, you are so humble. I'm not sure why you're so humble. I'm telling you, you need to be walking around with the medals on, trying, flexing on them a little bit. But
Yeah.
you are very humble and you have a very bright smile. I know that you're definitely going to have your name in lights even
Thank,
more.
thank you.
All right, Rolanda, keep them tickets on standby.
Mhm.
Go get your baby. And all the mothers out there who are listening to this, I hope that you were taking notes, that you received this great advice because it is definitely great advice. My son is 9 years away from graduation, and I am making mental notes about things that I need to be thinking about along the way because, as you both said, it goes really fast.
It really does.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. All right, beautiful viewers and listeners of Real Talk the podcast. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in to this series, Impacted the Effects of COVID-19. I just spoke with a graduating high school senior and his mother, John and Rolanda. They gave some very great insight onto how COVID-19 has truly affected everyone. So, again, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to be here with me. And for that, I am forever grateful. Be sure to tune in Thursday when a brand new episode of Real Talk the Podcast airs. Until then, remember to do what? Always keep it real.